Welcome back to the show, everyone. Jimmy Butler has made it abundantly clear that he wants out of Minnesota before the start of the season. Timberwolves owner Glenn Taylor has stated that Jimmy is available for trade, and both parties seem to be headed for a divorce. Gentlemen, how do we get to this point in Minnesota, and where do both parties go from here? Matt, I'll start with you.
Jimmy Butler is a word that I would describe for most of the NBA, and he's soft. He encompasses the modern-day person when you see a situation, and this speaks on behalf of our entire generation. He's more of one prior. When you see a situation that doesn't really seem right or go right or doesn't go right for you, you immediately want out. You just want to be out of the situation. You don't want to try and fix it from within. There's more factors to this than just Jimmy Butler. I'm going to get to it in a second. But he's soft. He just wants to get away from Minnesota because he just can't handle it. He can't play with Karl-Anthony Towns. He can't play with Tom Thibodeau as a head coach. He's soft. That's at the end of the day. We're not denying it. He's a hard worker on the court, but off the court, I really question some of the things that he is in a locker room, that he is just as a teammate. I question those things a little bit. Tom Thibodeau should not be a head coach anymore. He shouldn't have the responsibilities that he has within the Timberwolves organization. You see some of the moves that he's made and bring in some older veterans. I like the Jeff Teague signing he had last year, but now you bring in guys like Derrick Rose midseason last year. You bring in Luol Deng to a one-year deal. They're throwing a lot of money to these older guys. Then you go out and pay Karl-Anthony Towns like $130 million. I think that's a little overpaying for a guy with Cat's stature. I still think he has a lot of room to grow. But I think it's a situation with Tom Thibodeau. You look at kind of the way he left the Bulls before Fred Hoiberg took over, and you see a lot of similarities to what this Timberwolves team's at. Yes, Minnesota made the playoffs last year. They lost in 5 games in the first round. Are they really going to compete for anything in the West? Not really, but if Jimmy Butler's requesting a trade, you're going to have to go east. And he put on his original list the Knicks, Nets, and Clippers. He wants to play in a major market. At the end of the day, no one wants to play in a small market in today's American sport landscape. I've talked about this before with numerous people. That's why teams like Minnesota are never going to win championships, because soft players like Jimmy Butler just can't play with a tough head coach in a small market. So I think it's the combination of the small market Timberwolves, Tom Thibodeau, and Jimmy Butler being soft. Where I think he's going to end up, who knows? Because whoever wants to mortgage half their future away for a guy who's going to turn 30 pretty soon and really hasn't played too many full seasons in his career. Only played 59 games last year because of a knee sprain or something happened with his MCL. In any case, I don't know who's going to mortgage their future. There will be a dumb team out there who thinks they're right on the fringe. Miami, the Clippers, even the Knicks. Whoever does that is stupid to me.
Well, that dumb team might be Miami, who apparently rumors going around that they're offering Hassan Whiteside, Deion Waiters, and Justin Winslow for Jimmy Butler, which I think is stupid. But going back to your first 2 points, you called Jimmy Butler soft. I highly disagree with that because he's the type of guy that goes after players. Like if you
No, I said on the court he's not soft.
Oh, I thought you meant
on the court he's
a
hardworking
I thought you meant
player.
on the court
he's a hardworking player who is a coach's dream on the court, a fan's dream. I'm saying off the court, I feel like in the locker room, he's not.
So basically, he's a locker room cancer, is what
yes.
you're saying. Okay, all right. I'll agree with you on that point because there's been rumors and speculations going around that Jimmy Butler apparently slept with Karl-Anthony Towns' girlfriend. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that Clutch Sports post posted out on Instagram. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe that may be the reason why Karl-Anthony Towns does not want to stay in Minnesota. But going back to what you said before, Jimmy Butler's the type of guy that if a situation's going bad, you want to get out. Owners do that all the time. Franchises trade players left and right. They feel you're not producing on the court. Bye-bye. We'll get somebody else who will. Or we'll ship you for a first or second round draft pick. So
no, but they're in a position to make money, though.
I know they're in a position to make money,
but like
if he doesn't want to be in Minnesota, which I don't blame him because Minnesota sucks for crying out loud. I wouldn't even be in Minnesota if I was first. All right, they got gentlemen swept by Houston. Come on now. You really think they're going to beat Houston last year?
To be fair, more than half the league.
No, but I'm saying you're going to leave a playoff team, and the 2 of the teams you put on your list, actually all 3 of the teams you put on your original list didn't make the playoffs last year.
Okay, but this is the thing. He put the Nets on the list. Kyrie Irving might be coming to New York. Wow. He's leaving your beloved Boston team, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
that's going to happen. Okay, he put the Knicks on the list too. KP, they got a max contract to sign Kyrie.
How many games did the Knicks and Nets win last
year? All right, well,
hold on.
I'm talking about the future.
Minnesota
is the same level as the Knicks and the Nets.
But you realize Jimmy Butler's 30 years old. He's going to be 30 by the time he's a free agent.
He still could play. You acting
When
like
was
he's
the
a
last
scrub.
time? When was
Is
the
he a
last, I'm
scrub?
not acting like he's a scrub. I'm saying he's an aging vet who has not played a full season in God knows how long.
Okay, well,
And why am I
Kyrie Irving
gonna
hasn't
pay
played
him-
a full season
why
in
am I-
how long? But
why
he's
am
on the
I-
Celtics.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward hasn't played a full season last year. He's on the Celtics.
That was one
You're not
year.
gonna complain about them though.
Yeah,
When
that's
I like,
fair.
I like when you do this. When it comes to Boston, well, listen, hey, Kyrie Irving only played what 30, 40 something games
What's-
last year, knee injury. But when it comes to Jimmy Butler, if Jimmy
because
Butler was
the
on
Celtics
Boston,
didn't
if
mortgage
Jimmy,
their
hold
future for him.
if Jimmy was on Boston Celtics, you wouldn't be saying nothing, would you? Look at you. Okay then.
I mean, to be
This has
fair,
nothing
Gordon
to do with
Hayward
my
played
original
less than
point.
one game.
This has nothing to do with my original point in the sense that I don't even know what I was going to say because you just cut me off with this Celtics nonsense.
Because you're a Celtics
Because
boss.
any team that wants to go out and trade for Butler is mortgaging their future. The Celtics didn't do that when they got Kyrie Irving. And the Celtics went out and signed as a free agent Gordon Hayward.
Celtics, they stole Kyrie Irving.
Yes, so that's the point I'm trying to make.
Didn't
It has
Kyrie wanna
nothing
leave
to do
Cleveland?
with those moves. Any team that goes out and trades for Jimmy Butler is going to have to give up picks, young draft and stash players from overseas, young assets on their team now. They're going to have to mortgage a lot of their future to get a guy who's going to turn 30 pretty soon, who has injury risk and injury history, and a guy who has proven time and time again in Chicago and Minnesota that he can't play in certain locker room situations, and he struggles with a firm head coach like Tom Thibodeau.
So going back to Jimmy Butler's point that he's a cancerous locker room guy, Kobe was the same way. Kobe would go after players in the locker
Yeah,
room
but that's
on the
Kobe.
field.
They're
All right,
two
but
different players.
you called Jimmy Butler soft. That's the same attitude and approach Kobe had.
No,
was
I'm
he
calling
soft?
Jimmy Butler soft because
Off
he
the
wants
field,
because
off the court.
He wants out
Kobe
of a
was the same
situation.
person.
He wants out of a situation after only playing one
All right,
season
owners do the
in it.
same thing. You playing like
It's a
garbage on
different
the
thing
court,
because they have
they'll
money
trade you.
invested in those players. Jimmy Butler still is making money, and he still has guaranteed money in a
he
situation where he
and
can go out
he
there
wants
and
to
play.
leave Minnesota, and I don't blame him. So, but guess what? Going back to my point. So if he gets traded to the Knicks don't trade KP or Ntilikina. They bring in Kyrie Irving next year, along with Jimmy Butler. That's a big thing. You think that's a bad situation for him? Or say if he goes to the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard wants out of
We don't know
wants
that.
out of
He might like Toronto.
Oh, you don't know that for sure.
So
you don't know that.
So if you're the Clippers, you're going to bank on that?
So I'm saying, but say if it happens this year. Say if Kawhi ends up leaving, goes to LA, and then you trade for Jimmy Butler. Now you have a big two. Now Clippers are looking like a top 5, top 4 team.
How old
in
is
the
Jimmy
West.
Butler going to be at that time?
30.
Over 30.
Kawhi Leonard's going to be 28 next year.
And
What's the difference?
And how many games did Kawhi Leonard play last year?
Like 9.
And how many games did Jimmy Butler play last year?
59. Okay,
And
but
you- and
hold up. Your point is going back to health.
So 68 combined games.
How many
from
games did
last
Kyrie
season-
Irving play last year?
Like 40 something.
All right, and how many games did Gordon Hayward play last year?
One.
Okay, so what's your point?
Less than one.
And where did the? We're not talking about the.
Oh,
Celtics.
no, because I'm going to bring that to Boston because you always want to throw how many games did this person play? How many games did this person play?
We're not talking about them because Hayward and Irving are both tremendously younger than these two guys we're
If
talking
Hayward
about.
snaps his angles again, look like bye-bye Boston, huh?
We're not talking about the Celtics. I'm talking about the fact that you have a 28-year-old Kawhi Leonard who's not going to play
But
a lot
if
of
you
games.
put Kawhi and Jimmy Butler on the same team,
Who's
you
going
tell me
to
that's not
handle that
contending.
ball? Who's going to handle the ball on that team?
First of all, Kawhi Leonard does not even
Okay,
need the
guys.
ball to be offensive.
Okay, guys.
Who's going to handle the ball? I want to. Who's if you put
Okay,
those
Matt
two,
Orleans, I think the verdict's out on Jimmy
no,
Butler.
No, give me a minute. Who's going?
How many minutes you gonna take up, bro?
Who's
the
going to be
segment's
the
over.
Who's going to be the
The
primary
segment's
ball
over.
handler? Who's going to be the primary ball handler on that team? On either the Knicks or the Clippers.
So if Jimmy Butler gets traded to Toronto, they don't have a ball handler? Kyle Lowry's not handling the ball?
How old is Kyle Lowry?
Oh, my God.
You're
You
proving
just
my
asked
point.
me a question. Who's
Aging
gonna handle the
veterans.
ball? You just
He's
asked me
an
a question.
aging
I answered
veteran.
your question.
Why would I mortgage my future for an aging veteran when I already have three of them?
You mortgage your future for Gordon Hayward. He only played less
Stop
than 1
bringing up
minute.
the Celtics. He's not an aging veteran. He's like 28 years old.
That's aging, though. You just said Kawhi Leonard was 28.
But he also
You
has
was like,
a career
Kawhi's
record.
28. Jimmy Butler's 30. They aging. Gordon Hayward's 28, too. I guess he aging, huh?
He doesn't
LeBron
look like he's
James,
aging.
huh? Everybody aging in your eyes.
I'm not mortgaging my future for Jimmy Butler.
All right, neither
Oh,
would
my
I.
God. Oh,
But
my
if you
God.
put
Okay.
Kawhi and them on the same
Yeah,
team,
if
they're
I-
a championship team, right?
You know, you
No!
guys,
You smoking
you know,
something,
you guys
bro.
talk about,
Okay.
you know, you guys
Go
talk about
ahead.
mortgage.
Go ahead.
You're just saying I could put two All-Stars on one team and they magically become a championship team. That's not how it works.
In the East?
You know, you
It
guys
doesn't
talk.
matter. You got to beat the Warriors.
All
You got
right.
to beat the
How
Rockets.
long are the Warriors going to stay together?
For a considerable
No,
amount
they
of
not.
time. They've proven for the past 3 years that you could have the cap space and mortgage your bench and still put 5 All-Stars out there on the court and you win a championship.
All right, you guys talking about mortgaging your future. I'm just waiting for the Knicks to mortgage their future
No,
when they make
hey,
a
you have a
ridiculous
point.
trade
No,
for
no,
Jimmy
no,
Butler.
You have a point you have to say.
Hold
Please
on.
say it.
So, first of all, the Warriors, they over the cap. They can't even get.
We'll be right back with more on the Extra Point.